Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Sunday, September 13th. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to their Sunday so far. In this video, I'll be discussing both the first and second stimulus check. I'll also be discussing unemployment, whether Congress will pass the next relief bill before Election Day, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so I'm going to start out this video once again with another update on the federal unemployment insurance benefits. Jumping right into it today, up on the screen, you'll see the list of the states that have already been approved for the benefits. As you can see, we are finally beginning to see more and more states pay out, although many states are officially depleted of the FEMA funds. At this point, Arizona, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana, and Texas have been depleted of all the funding and will now only be paying out the regular state unemployment insurance benefits. In the coming weeks, unfortunately, we can also expect many other states to also run out of funding for these benefits. Next, up on the screen, you'll see a list of the states that have been approved for the $300 federal plus-up, but they haven't started paying out the benefits to their residents yet. I've also listed an estimated payment date for each state, and keep in mind here, this date is only an estimate, so it's quite possible this date could end up being a little bit later than expected. Most of these states should receive around 5 weeks of payments, with a large chunk of them receiving the full 6 weeks of benefits. It's still a bit unclear on the exact length each state will receive in benefits though. Since there's only $44 billion being used from FEMA, the benefits could end at any time. As of last Wednesday, around $31 billion have been obligated to states already. Also, please keep in mind that in order to receive the $300 benefit, you must be receiving at least $100 in state unemployment insurance benefits. Again, this is just another issue because this leaves out quite a few people who do not meet the $100 threshold, so let's hope Congress can find a bipartisan agreement very soon to get these benefits extended on a longer term basis. Okay, moving right along to some updates in regards to the next relief package and the second stimulus check. So first off, I wanted to quickly address a question I received a lot in my last video, which was, are we going to be getting an $1,800 stimulus check? Is it true that we're going to be getting $1,800 now? I mean, there were a lot of comments about $1,800, so I was thinking, wait, where exactly is this $1,800 coming from? Well, I did a search and it turns out that a lot of YouTubers are now titling their videos $1,800 stimulus check, and what the $1,800 actually is referring to is the 6 weeks of unemployment from FEMA. The $1,800 is not going to be a stimulus check. The $1,800 comes from the 6 weeks of $300 payments for those eligible for the unemployment benefits from Trump's executive order. So when you see something like an $1,800 stimulus check coming next week, don't mistake that for being a check, as you see many of these videos titled as. I just wanted to get that out there. Now, is there still going to be a second stimulus check? I would say the likelihood is still high, although with everything there is no guarantee. It seems like at this point in time, if there is going to be a second stimulus check anytime soon, it probably won't be through a bill passed by Congress in the next couple of months. Even Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell expressed his doubts on Congress reaching a bipartisan agreement in the near future. McConnell said, quote, "We have been in a challenging period. Regretfully, I can't tell you today we're going to get there. I wish I could tell you we were going to get another package, but it doesn't look that good right now." Other Republican senators also expressed their doubts, with Marco Rubio saying that Congress is not going to pass another virus relief bill before the election. Kansas Senator Pat Roberts also said that virus talks were at a dead-end street, and Richard Shelby, a senator in Alabama, said it was unlikely that another relief package would pass before the election. Mitch McConnell said that it makes you believe the Democrats don't want to do another proposal. He said they want to wait until after the election and play games with this, hoping it increases their chance to win more votes over on November 3rd. Now, there are some lawmakers, at least, that are still expressing a little bit of optimism on the next relief package. Senator Roy Blunt, for example, a Republican in Missouri, said that he does still believe there is a chance, but he won't be optimistic on this if we get through the next 2 weeks without finishing it up. And finishing it up, they will need to do real soon. If they are going to get something passed, then it will need to be in the next few weeks. This is because the Senate is slated to leave Washington and go on another recess period from October 12th through November 6th, so that will be fast approaching. With confidence not being the highest on either side, and neither side wishing to budge, it's fairly unlikely much will get done unless drastic changes take place. Currently, the White House's offer from Steve Mnuchin stands at around $1.3 to $1.5 trillion, whereas the lowest offer from Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats stands at $2.2 trillion. So they're currently $700 to $900 trillion apart. And with that, you'd think, easy enough, each side can meet in the middle from there, but unfortunately, they don't want to make it that easy. That said, there is still a reason for hope here. Being that we're just 7 weeks away from Election Day, President Trump has to know that unleashing another executive order, especially ones that include stimulus checks in them, would only bolster his chances to stay in the White House for 4 more years. This is sort of a magic card he still has in his pocket, as he mentioned last week during his White House press conference. Trump said that he could use the money from the Economic Stabilization Fund from the CARES Act without congressional approval. This is something, of course, that he'll probably have lawyers look over to make sure that it would fully be legal, but in most eyes, since it's not money that needs to be printed, it should be legal for him to do so. Plus, if anyone were to try to block the president sending another round of stimulus payments, they would be heavily demonized. It's really hard seeing anyone try to put in question Trump doing that without lots of backlash coming their way. So with the $300 billion there that Trump says is sitting in an unused account, that will be fully on him and his decision on whether he wants to move forward with another round of payments. If you remember, the first round of checks ended up costing around $300 billion in total, so if Trump were to issue another executive order, then it should end up being $1,200 once again and going to the same people who received them in the first round. With this money, they are also discussing bolstering the airline industry and federal unemployment benefits as well, so that will be something to watch out for. And honestly, it really wouldn't shock me too much if Trump were to go forward with another executive order. He has shown time and time again he's not afraid to issue these executive orders, as he did with the first one, so it wouldn't be out of Trump's character here at all, especially with the elections coming up in just 7 weeks. With everything though, nothing is guaranteed. So let's prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. I do still firmly believe we have some very good things to come, so let's hang in there and continue hoping for the best. Things will most definitely get better. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm just going to give a quick update on the first round of stimulus payments. If you haven't yet received your first stimulus payment, the best thing you can do at this point is to continue checking the payment portal. If you continue to see that your payment status is not available, then that simply means the IRS has not yet scheduled a delivery date for you. As long as you're eligible for the first payment, meaning that you met the income requirements, weren't claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax returns, and didn't have something like past due child support, then you should eventually receive your payment. With that said, let me know in the comment section below whether you received your first stimulus payment or if you're currently still waiting for it. Additionally, you can also still call the IRS at 1-800-919-9835, but keep in mind that you may not find out much more information than what you can already find through the payment portal. Also, I would recommend that if you do decide to call them, that you do so a little bit earlier in the day, just to avoid those longer hold times. Also, if you're currently on Social Security benefits and you received your $1,200 stimulus check, but you haven't received the $500 for your dependents under the age of 17, then you'll have until September 30th to claim them through the non-filers tool. Otherwise, unfortunately, you'll have to wait all the way until next year to claim the credits on your tax returns. And I'm sure that since you've already waited this long for that payment, you probably don't want to wait that much longer. Alright, so at this point, I'm just going to answer some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video, which is from Tina. Tina says, "Good morning, Josh. I have a Direct Express debit card for Social Security, but I got a paper check for the first stimulus. Should I expect the next payment to be on my card or another check?" Alright, thank you so much for your question, Tina, and most likely you should receive your payment in the same way you usually receive your benefits. Now, I'm assuming you usually receive your benefits on your Direct Express card, so I'm not sure why they sent you a check for the first round. What I would recommend for you to do if they do pass a second round of payments is to go into the payment portal and see which way they plan to send your payment this time around. You should be able to change that payment method to whichever one you prefer, whether that's to receive your money on your Direct Express card or to receive another check in the mail. You should be able to change the payment method to whichever one you prefer, whether that's to receive the money on your Direct Express card or to receive another check in the mail. Okay, moving right along to the next question of today's video, which is from Steven. Steven says, "Hey Josh, is SSI Disability getting the $1,800? Alright, thank you so much for your question, Steven. And if there is another round of stimulus checks, it will most likely just be $1,200. As I mentioned in this video, the $1,800 that you've seen floating around is actually just the 6 weeks of unemployment payments going out from the FEMA benefits. These aren't stimulus checks, so people who aren't on unemployment won't be receiving this money. That said, I do hope Congress is able to pass a bill with checks in them, or that Trump is able to issue another executive order to send out another round of checks very soon. As always, I will most definitely keep you updated. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive one free stock from Webull, valued all the way up to $1,600, please feel free to claim that free stock by clicking the link in the description box below. And until next time, I'll see you guys and I hope you have a great day today.